An innocent woman jailed.
Strange. The captain doesn't strike me as a petty tyrant.
Helen is right. The truth lies down there, somewhere. I suspect Deborah is at it again.
We need the money.
We have enough. Leave me alone.
Do you think only of yourself?
Because no one else will.
Anyone home? No one.
Papers in Miller's name. We're in the right place.
Keep looking. Closed. Are we in the right place?
Try next door.
He's organized.
Disorganized traders lose money.
Vardy reads English extensively.
Well, nobody's perfect.
What is this?
A sansa. It's a musical instrument. It's Bantu, from southern Africa.
He's making protective amulets.
He's making useless trinkets.
And he works hard to keep it away.
What is he afraid of? What don't we know? Let's search the store. Surprisingly high quality wares.
Can't be many left in New Eden with the means to buy. He's doing surprisingly well for himself.
Where did he get the inventory?
Rebecca's will. She was rich. She left it. In the lot.
That's where he got the inventory.
No. The list matches his sales record.
Touch my money and I'll drop you. What are you doing here? Thieving, no doubt.
I'm no thief, Mr. Miller. I'm the Banisher. I brought Helen Priest back to the fort.
A banisher? Thieves lie. How do you know my name?
'Tis my business to know. Red McCraith.
If you are a banisher of ghosts, I have business for you. I'll pay.
I spoke to Rebecca.
'Tis she who haunts you. She sent me to find you. She worries for you. Says she loves you.
The English have a word for that. Hogshite.
If not for love, why did she bequeath you her fortune?
Whichever. It matters not. You're a banisher. It is your job to get rid of her. Can you not just do your work?
Easy, Mr. Miller. Now, I'll need to examine Rebecca's belongings.
I sold them. All of them.
You did? To who?
I don't know. People. I wrote it down. In the register. Read it, if you wish.
2 recent sales to the blacksmith and to Ingersoll's store.
A storekeeper hears much. What do you hear, Mr. Miller?
I'm a busy man. If you've a question to ask, then ask it.
What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
He has no problem with me. I have no problem with him. He respected Rebecca's wishes. He gave me what was mine. My freedom. Her estate. He saw me as a man and signed the papers to say so. And when them who saw different complained, he laid down the law.
What think you of Helen Priest?
I don't think of Ellen Priest. I stay out of her way. I hope she'll stay out of mine.
How are things in the fort, by your estimation?
Look around you. Things are desperate. Have you heard the sound of their bodies crashing against the wood? I am a man of courage. I have endured much. But this, it undoes me. I don't know what you people have done to this country, but there's little hope and no way out.
Your stuff looks good. Let's trade.
Now, my friend, we are conversing.
You've put quite the effort into protecting your home, haven't you?
You poked about my house without my say-so.
I know my business. So out of generosity, here's the truth. None of it works. Not the wreath, not the amulet, none of it works. Pretty though.
His brooch is working.
It works. She hasn't come back. I can sleep now. I hear her calling, whispering my name. I wait to find her at my bedside. Our eyes meet. She stares. She won't leave me alone. She's an Akishi, a demon. Banish her. I'll pay you.
I need a job. I accept. Farewell to you, Mr. Miller, sir.
You know where to find me. If you're buying, I'm selling.
Ingersoll store and the blacksmith. Noted.
He'd sold it all. Everything she'd owned. And fast.
Why the hurry?
If we track her things down, perhaps they'll tell us.
note?
Let's see.
Ferdinando was a slave. She was his owner.
She kept that quiet. As if it were of no consequence. We know where to go. The barrack room.
I mean, as wolf pelts go, it's pretty. But I've more than enough of them. Folk in Boston are not short of wolf pelt. What do I do with this?
You're American. Sell it.
I'd sell sunshine to the Spanish, but that is not the problem. We've more than enough wolf. Bring me a bear, and we'll talk.
A bear?
I could get 20 pieces of 8 for a bear pelt, if it were in good condition. I'll pay you half that.
Half of 40 is 20. I'm the one risking my life out there. I'll take the 20.
It's a fabulous plan, and I'm so pleased you thought of it.
An excellent plan indeed. I see only one problem. There is no bear. Not out here. They're all gone. Gone to Boston, perhaps, to sell their pelts.
Nurse
Well then,
wings, one of those.
When they return, they shall be
Andrew
naked and
White,
rich,
2 of those.
and I shall sell them
Must
wolf.
have set Weedon aside for the captain.
You can't kill it, but you can slow it down.
Pretty. The work, I mean.
We know where to go. The barrack room. A vivid memory from the dead is somewhere near. The quill resonates. An echo, perhaps.
I only recognize my name in the list.
Distant family, but I can't disinherit them.
I would never ask you that. To have met you is already more than I ever expected. If I was to lose you, God forbids, I'd cherish all that reminds me of you.
If you were to lose me, all that I own would now be yours.
He claimed not to love her. Why lie?
Maybe he didn't lie. Maybe he pretended to love her.
Let's see what he has to say about it.
Banisher?
Folk talk about you. About your past.
I know what they say. They say I am a murderer. They are wrong. As she lay dying, Rebecca Hardgrave gave me my freedom. Before that, I was her slave.
How very romantic.
If it weren't for the captain, the good people of New Eden would have let me die too.
Rebecca was in love with you. The feeling was not mutual. True?
I was her pet. A dog nuzzling its master, hoping she might loosen its leash. She loved me, she said. I allowed her to think I loved her back. I sat up and begged and let her pet me. I was a very good boy.
You gulled her, then took advantage.
To a slave, a crumb of freedom tastes like a loaf. You'd have done no different. And I'd do the same again. Enough chitter-chatter. Perhaps you should get back to work. What am I paying you for?
I'm a banisher, Mr. Miller, not a rat catcher. Ghosts were human. They're emotional, full of hopes and fears about the past and the future too. To find out what ties the ghost to the living and end the haunting, I must know the story. You want me to finish the job? Then the story must be told. The ghost must manifest.
I do not like this idea. This idea can shit itself 6 times by sundown.
Come on, break the brooch and let's get it over with.
No choice remains. Let it be done. And I'll be done with it!
You're here at last!
Step no closer!
I don't understand. Are you not glad to see me?
Now, Banisher! End this!
Not now. You need to hear the truth, both of you. That reminds me. Rebecca, you omitted to tell us that Ferdinando was your slave. That you owned him.
I loved him.
I was a slave! I was not free to leave. What kind of love is that?
What are you saying? We loved each other.
Love? No. I told my master what she wanted to hear. I gulled her with a lie. I thought you a fool. But no, you believed me because you wanted to. Yet you didn't believe me, did you? Not entirely. That's why you never freed me.
I loved you, and you loved me. It was but a piece of paper. A piece of paper and a guarantee. I needed a guarantee.
You don't know what love is. You know only fear. You feared being undesired, being unnoticed, being alone.
True love requires you to let go.
Time to give this love story an ending.
Rebecca Hardgrave, your love for Fadi Miller is sincere but unwanted. You're hurting him. Let him go.
Is it wrong to wish to spend your life with the man you love?
You did spend your life with him. Now your life is over.
He was mine. I wanted to keep him. Was I wrong?
You don't own him. You can't own him.
Let go. Find peace.
Peace? She gets peace? After all she did?
I get peace, but you get your freedom. I was wrong. I'm sorry, Fadi. For everything.
You have no more reason to stay.
She deserves no peace. She put me through hell. You don't care, Banisher. Just one more mad master in a madder world.
You've saved our sorry asses, sir. Of that, there's no doubt. You've earned us a rare bit of rest, and that comes most welcome.
You all right, soldier? You look drop dead weary.
The dead don't sleep, do they? And me being asleep won't stop 'em coming.
Your comrades think you're too scared to sleep. You should prove them wrong.
I don't give 5 shites what they think. They may tend to their own duty while I tend to mine.
Let's cut to it. I think you're haunted. The good news is that I can help.
The Banisher thinks I'm haunted, does he? Nah, I ain't important enough to be haunted. I ain't important, and I don't deserve no help. Waste of time helping me anyway.
You heard the man. He wants no help. I see no reason to force it on him. For now, at least.
Peaceful watch to you. I'd like to help him. Old soldier and all.
All right. Let's start with his billet.
Right. Andrew's things. Where are you? Not here. No, keep looking. War poems. They ruined me. Not here. Banisher Rule 92, by a man's things shall you know him.
I think you've made that one up.
An award given to a brave soldier. I believe we found Andrew's things.
This is our best lead yet. Maybe we missed something in the infirmary.
Maybe. After that, we might look for his train band record. Pretty empty armory.
Looks like someone's been living in here.
Storeroom. Locked. A metal trinket to mark a life of sacrifice. I bet he'd rather have his sleep bag.
At least he made it home.
Aye. And he didn't.
Any idea who this ghost might be?
You may know a soldier by his trail of dead. Could be anyone. 13 years is a long time to live haunted.
White must have a will of... iron.
Kept it to himself. Must have been hellish. I'll talk to Andrew. Might perk him up a bit. Should have had your breakfast, friend. Anyway, greetings.
I'm Antea Duarte. This here is Red McWraith. We're Banishers. Now, who are you and what do you want? Are you the ghost haunting Andrew White? Is that a yes or a no? Who are you? This isn't gonna be easy, is it? Mute ghosts take forever.
This is pointless. We're hunting in the dark with no light and no spoor.
First, you have to find out what's keeping him from speaking. Andrew won't be much help. But if our friend here can't tell us what he wants, maybe he can show us. Do you want us to follow you? I think he wants us to follow him. He left stains. Clever. I'll keep an eye out so we don't lose them. This way. I'm reminded of one of my first cases. The ghost was mute because the person haunted refused to talk.
So this one is mute because of Andrew?
I don't know. Maybe. Our new friend is waiting for us. Here, we can go on. The ghost haunting Andrew seems weak. Drawing out the torture the better to enjoy it? Or holding itself back, afraid to feed too much?
If mine had been so kind, maybe I'd have slept nights. I'm jealous.
Don't be. These ones are the worst. Years withering, decades even. It's an awful way to go.
Our friend the ghost could have shown us a safer route.
Or he's just playing with us. He's leading us somewhere. Spectral writing on the wall. See for yourself.
Joshua Gouge, gone too soon.
What's it going to say? Joshua Gouge outstayed his welcome. So Joshua is not here for revenge. He wants us to follow him. Over here.
Hey, that's your face.
Joshua looks kindly on Andrew. What were they to each other?
Brothers in arms, man. You never feel as close to a mate as when you fight by his side. You fight for the man beside you, not for money, not for a king. For your mate.
You have friends from the war. First I've heard of them.
They lost contact. Maybe when this is over, I'll look them up. Most young men are taught to dream of war. And when they get there, they dream of home. And they're not busy fighting and dying, that is.
Our new friend is waiting for us. Think you could take on a ghost?
Voices from the dead ripple here.
Shite! To arms! To arms! They waylay us!
The right flank! Hold them off!
Josh! Behind you!
Good jump, blustering cove! Help me!
Joshua! No!
Nice to meet you again, Joshua.
You want us to help Andrew White give up his guilt and get on with his life. Am I right?
We know you died fighting by his side. Is that why he feels guilty? Is this why you can't speak? Oh, I've been there. I'll do everything I can to help.
If help we can.
Only these two could talk to each other.
Andrew needs to start talking. As long as he swallows his guilt, nothing will change. There's a wall between these two, and we must knock it down.
I may be able to do that. Andrew failed to save his friend and blames himself for it.
Guilt is normal, but you must let it go.
I had claw marks on it.
None of this explains what binds the ghost here.
Anything to report?
I don't usually bring it up, but I was a soldier too.
Thought as much. Where'd you fight?
Well, first I fought my way across half the Highlands. Later I'd fight wherever my paymaster sent me. Bavaria, Bohemia, Austria.
What's your war story then? We all have one.
In a tavern in Paris, with 3 of my comrades, a Turkman stood us drinks and offered us work, fighting for the Ottomans against the Viennese, and the Poles, the Prussians, and whoever else. And the pay was good, a villa each in Cyprus and slaves all of our own. I said I'd not have slaves and I'd not turn my coat. "I will," said my friend Lucas, "but I'll free the slaves." I shook his hand and wished him well. 9 months later, my band ambushed a Turkish emissary on escort to Venice. I found Lucas by the side of the road. I buried him where he fell.
Well, probably wasn't you who shot him, was it? Hard to know, I suppose. But you know what never leaves? The smell. That sickening, coppery vapour rising as a man's life pulls beneath him. For all those brave young boys we send off in search of glory, that stink is their rude awakening.
Easier to die with than live with, perhaps.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. But come. Blood soaks away. Let's not dwell upon the past, and men long gone.
You're not like this, but we must speak of Joshua.
Leave it be. In the past, where it belongs.
Your past is very much present. Your friend Joshua has a message for you.
He wants to take revenge. I know it.
You're no wrong. He wants to give you freedom. He never blamed you. You blamed yourself.
Why would he not seek revenge? He's due it.
He doesn't see it that way.
I shot him. I was trying to save him and I shot him.
Hold on. How did this happen?
We were skirmishing in the forest. 2 Indian fellas bore down on Joshua. Dropped one, but the other had him cold. I was 20 yards away. I raised my musket, pulled the trigger. Bullet went straight through his skull.
Did you admit it later? I mean, no one would have thought the worst of you. A battle like that, well, that's what happens.
Shite happens to shite soldiers. I said nothing. I wanted it over. I want it over. I don't want to live. I want to die. Please. Please. Put me out of my misery.
I am duty-bound to protect the living from the dead. Sometimes, too, from themselves. You can't see it now, but you can learn to live with this. Talk about it. Accept it. You'll come to the point where it stops defining your life and you can set about living in the time you have left.
No. You survived. Now you must live.
Joshua? Is that you? It cannot be. I saw you dead.
It is, old friend. I've tried for the longest time to speak to you, but your guilt took my voice. You must live in peace.
I have not the right. I shot you. I was sure my aim was good, but it was not. I shot you.
It was an accident, Andrew. You tried to save me. You failed, but you may make amends. Until you give yourself peace, I cannot have mine. Save me, Andrew, save me. Give yourself peace and save me.
Joshua, you have spoken. Andrew, you've heard. It's time to end the story.
Joshua Gouge, you've lingered in silence for too long. You can go.
I can. Thank you, Banishers. Thank you, Andrew.
Time to say goodbye, boys.
I'm sorry, my friend. I've carried the weight of your death as far as I can.
The debt, if any, is paid. Live your life.
Farewell, Joshua. You've done your duty and more.
Farewell, old friend.
You may go.
I'm good for nothing after that. Thanks for your help. I'll not forget it.
You can't kill it, but you can slow it down.
Ready for another ride? Circumstances aside, this is quite romantic.
Swarming hordes of spectres aren't to your liking.
They are if I'm with you. Not a fan of this breeze, mind.
Not as romantic as you'd thought, eh?
Maybe now's the time to ask you to marry me.
Try it and I'll cut the rope.